Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm glad that you're tuning into this video for our Shabbat service. I welcome you. I hope everyone is doing fine. Once again, I'm available to the congregation anytime, either on my cell phone, 717-460-6444, or email rabbi@ohevsholom.org. Let's begin our service by turning to page 120 and lighting our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Continue on page 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. L'chadodi, page 138. ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, כולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. The Shema is on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta, page 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Yam bam 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 bidi bam yam bam 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 yam bam 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 bidi bam yam bam 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 ay 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 yam bam 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 ay 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 yam bam bam di khamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha ne'edar ba'kodesh norat kilo understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru, page 162. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. Beni uben b'nei Yisrael, od hi leolam, od hi leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. We continue with Tefillah on page 164. Adonai sefatati pahu fi agitei latecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 171. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 173. And if you have your prayer book, please recite these words with me. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha ne'el lehodot. Shalom Rav, page 178. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atah u'melech Adon, lechul hashalom. Ki atah u'melech Adon, lechul hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Let's pause now for a moment of silent reflection. Ose shalom bimromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. I often speak about the importance of celebrating the diversity of God's people. But the disturbing events of the past several days show us that wonderful diversity is not celebrated by us all. There remains so much that we don't respect and value about each other. How disturbing it is for all of us to witness yet another killing of a black man here in a country that is predicated on freedom, a country where all people are supposedly created equal. But we know that equality, even at this time when every one of us is in danger because of a pandemic, we all may not be of equal value, and some people are more equal than others. The use of tear gas on protesters down the street from our synagogue building and the violence perpetrated on the Harrisburg police force and their property was so difficult for us to see. I remember the riots of 1968 in Chicago when we anxiously awaited the arrival of my father from his working in the neighborhood that was being destroyed in protest over the killing of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Who would believe that the kind of rioting, looting, and destruction which took place 52 years ago would be replicated on the streets of American cities today? While we remain aghast at those who were looting the stores, we also ask, who can blame the people of color who feel not only marginalized in our country today, but also feel that their lives are in danger every time they leave the house? I am also aghast when our leaders threaten more violence, when what we really need is more justice and healing. We are all anxious and upset by COVID-19 and our trepidation about leaving our homes. But what about those who feel threatened even when there is no pandemic? What about those who seek justice and healing and are met with violence? What are we to do in order to better understand the difficulties of being a person of color when so many of us are simply privileged to have white skin? We need to reach out to our friends in the African American community as they feel especially vulnerable during this time of crisis. And if we don't have friends in the African American community, perhaps it's time to ask ourselves, why? Whenever and how often we can, advocate for all of those who routinely feel undervalued or misjudged. God inspires us to feed the hungry and to welcome the stranger, to care for those who are less fortunate than we, and to repair the world. But sadly, the death of George Floyd and the murders of others in the African American community cannot be overlooked and must not be minimalized. We are painfully aware that we have work to do. All of us who bear witness to the tragedies we face, not only in some small corner of the world, but just down Front Street or on the steps of our Capitol. Please join with me in advocating for those whose lives are made bitter simply because of the color of their skin. And let us work together so that all of us may understand each other in the very precarious world in which we live. May this be God's will, and let us say, Amen. And now at this time when we ask for peace and healing, I'm honored to call upon our organist and musical director, Prestia, to lead us in the Mishaberach prayer on page 371. We also ask God's blessings on the caregivers in our midst, those who are risking their lives to take care of us, the doctors, the nurses, those in professions that stand in grocery stores or in pharmacies to make sure that we are made safe. May God bless them, and may God also bless those whose anxiety and pain is felt on the inside but not seen on the outside. May God bring healing to us all, and we say, Amen. We continue with Aleinu on page 586. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recite the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad livrach cherutei v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalo b'zman kariv v'yimaru amen, yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam homei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudsha b'rechu, Ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yalma v'yimaru amen. Yehi shlomo rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all of us who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and we say, Amen. Our closing hymn is Adon Olam. It's on page 625. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Le'it Nasa, B'chef Safur, Zan Melech Shemoni Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, grant us a Shabbat and a week ahead filled with joy, with rest, with peace, with good health, and with healing. And let us say, Amen.